Capricorn, welcome to your bonus in-depth reading. There's your 3-month overview, July, August, and September. We're going to start by going over the board I'm using for you and all 12 signs. That way we're on the same page. First, we'll take a look at you for the month of July. 7, the Chariot. August, 8, Strength. September, 9, the Hermit. And then, of course, those energies I think are kind of important, such as the Sun, happiness. Do we know what that is? Are we on point with it? Are we living it? Are we loving it? Or perhaps our idea of happiness is changing. Several folks have shown me that. The Tower. Anything unexpected or upsetting, perhaps, we should know about. All right. Got some Band-Aids on the fingers. You shuffle the cards so often for so long. Yeah, Band-Aids become a bit of a fashion statement after a while. Nice. What's going on? Show me Capricorn, please. In July. Show me Capricorn in July. Six of Swords, the Hierophant, 4 of Swords, the Fool, 10 of Pentacles, the Hermit. Wow. Wow. So you're showing me rest. Obviously, a lot of this is taking place prior to July. You're kind of catching me up to where you are now. You're showing me a lot of rest and consolidation around your commitment energies, what you've been focusing on, okay? What you consider priority. What you consider important, okay? What you sort of avow yourself to. And there is some sort of commitment here that you are getting more and more comfortable saying goodbye to every day, while you focus on your foundation, being open to it, but also being wise towards it simultaneously. Taking risks on what you know, your world, how you've developed it, but the experience to cultivate, okay, your foundation, where it should next go. It's really interesting, actually. There's a sense of openness, but wisdom, vitality, youth, vigor, and someone who's experienced enough to know the difference. And between those two energies that you have, that you're showing me, you look quite stable, very founded, very connected. I see where you kind of seek consultation within yourself about when and where and how to open up and expand your world, and then also when to stay the course and understand nothing needs to change. But you seem to be doing this on your own. Like I said, you opened up with, I continue to reflect on and heal over a commitment that I've left behind. What that commitment was, you would know best. And you've taken your commitment energies and again, rededicated them to your 3D world. There's a lot going on in there. And you give it the best of your attentions every day. Now, to be clear, that recovery process will be ongoing for some time. But it looks like you've moved past the bulk of it and learned a great deal already in hindsight. It's almost like you can reflect on it peacefully now. It taught you a lot about yourself and what you believe in. What's important specifically, okay? 'Tis the season, by the way, and by that I mean lawn wars. We're at the heights of it. Your message has just been blessed by Our Lady of Perpetual Lawn Care. In fact, my neighbor there across the street had been going all morning. And it's at that point where I'm like, I have got to work. But yeah, I knew I'd be rolling the dice on that one. Yeah, he's one of those who works for about 5, slacks off for 5, works for 5, slacks for 5. It's like, that's why we got to roll, Capricorn. We got to roll. I know you understand. But yes, expect that particular background noise. But yeah, no, you've... I don't know what your circumstances were. That's another reading. That's further back in the past. Point is that you're a lot more comfortable with that exit. Moving on from it specifically. But I really like how you're showing me a balance between these open, new beginning energies, something that would associate with youth, but the wisdom and experience of someone much more mature. To know when to open up versus staying the course on your Ten of Pentacles. You're very methodical there, thorough, but you want the best there. Cultivate the best. You want it to be meaningful to you and significant to you and likely beneficial to others. That part of you has not changed. If anything, you've doubled down on it. But I like your growth. I like your insight. I like how you approach things. It's very balanced. Show me Capricorn, please, in August. Knight of Cups, the Moon, Seven of Swords, the Lovers, the High Priestess, the Hanged Man. Something's coming forward, and it's kind of a gentle rollout. It's not everything all at once, okay? But yeah, something here is gently rolling out. Almost from that hidden secret place we call the Moon. And Seven of Swords, the Moon, Knight of Cups, something's coming forward. Again, it's gently. I would even say softly. It almost arrives in the form of a whisper. Someone's emotions are being put forward. They don't look obtrusive, and it doesn't look obnoxious. Like I said, it almost arrives in the form of a whisper, Capricorn. So that's either happening from you or towards you. I don't quite know, because the Lovers is here. And the Knights, well, they can come from us, or they can be coming towards us. The Hanged Man, the High Priestess, the Lovers. You know what the funny thing is? You're not surprised. You felt that one coming. Yeah. You felt that one coming. Perhaps you didn't know what exactly, but you felt something being drawn towards you or you drawing towards it. Yeah, but there's the whisper of emotions here that had, up until this point, been refrained from. Not spoken towards, not revealed. So like I said, that's a gentle rollout. It's not scary, it's not surprising, it's not shocking. You might show me something different there at the tower, but for the most part, by and large, intuitively, you felt it. So by the time that actually arrives, it catches up to you, even if it is the barest of whispers, you have an immediate recognition intuitively what it is. It's a strong connection. And that's August. Oh, my. That's August. Yeah, I would expect some sort of interaction in August. But I cannot begin to emphasize this enough. It is gentle. It's taking a lot from this to come forward from the depths of the Moon and Seven of Swords. Avoidance. Not being mentally clear. Perhaps it was your secret, perhaps it was theirs, but it was somebody's. But it comes forward in such a soft way, almost a dreamy way, like I said, a whisper. But once more, for at least one person here, they're not surprised. They felt that. Very gentle. Very strong, but gentle feeling. Yeah, I had a feeling about August. Something like that. Or this month, or in that week, or it's going to be that thing where you get a little bit of a tingle. It's like, hey, I'm feeling something here. What? And by the time it arrives, you're like, oh, well, that makes so much sense now. Okay. So once more, I don't know if it's your night or someone else's, but up until that point, it was very quiet. Well, now, you have a very interesting next couple of months. Show me, Capricorn, please, in September. Ace of Cups, the Six of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. Okay. Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Empress. Very good. New dawn, new day. Okay. This, I think it's in reflection about, once more, about where you're coming from. Eight of Cups, Six of Cups, Ten of Swords, and you're kind of showing me that's where I was. I see that. I recognize it. I recognize it in myself. I am someone who is worthy of an equal. I am ready for a new beginning. I have to tell you that whatever this is prompting new beginnings for you. And clearly, it gives you a bit of space, therefore, to reflect on the past and where it is you came from. I told you I don't know your backstory. I said that's like another reading for another day. You're like, well, let's touch on it real quick. So I can see that you, once upon a time, you parted ways with a soul bond. I do not necessarily know that it's the same lover's connection. You did show me there is a commitment here I have left behind, and I'm by and large comfortable with it now. I learned a lot from it. Thank you. And moving on is a process. It's a daily process, and this is what I'm focusing on. So in reflection to that old ending, Ace of Cups, Ten of Swords, Six of Cups, you having walked or they having walked, okay, you are now in the position to accept new. Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, the Empress, is worthy of you. It is being put forward to you as your worth. Okay? I believe it starts here with that whisper. And it becomes more visible and or solid as, oh, this is real, this is happening by September. But yes, it does put you in mind about where you came from as the past there. Okay? That's an ending. It was quite painful. Am I, Capricorn, ready for a new beginning? Because whatever this whisper was, given some more time, it starts to shape into something, like I said, more solid. As a real, graspable new beginning for you. Okay? There's a lot in there, like a lot. Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and the Empress. It's worthy of you. That's all I know. And this soul bond, once more, I believe, in that space of recovery, this is what you recovered from in terms of that commitment. It's in the past. It doesn't affect you anymore. At least, not emotionally. Lessons, yeah. That'll be there. Reflections, yes, it'll be there. It's part of your past. You're going to reflect on it from time to time. But it's kind of like cap. Okay? This is capped off as an experience. You see that. And you see now that you're ready for new. If this hadn't ended, you wouldn't be in the position to accept this. Your match, apparently. So, and it's funny how things just started with a whisper. Right there in August. A whisper, I insist, a part of you, your soul, if you will, if you must, heard it coming before it arrived. Or heard you speak it before you put it into existence. Okay. Well, that ain't bad. I'll rather suppose we can make do with this reading. I like how I'm just working on my foundation. You know, I try to expand it where it's feasible, where it's a good idea, but then I also know when to stay on course with stuff that is working well. Thank you. Yes, I learned a lot from my former situation, my former commitment, and I will continue to do so. And I incorporate those lessons and I take them with me and I thank them for what they were. But yeah, you're like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just kind of taking care of my little corner of the world. Oh, what's this? Is it a strong connection? Well, I had a feeling. I had a feeling something was coming through. And there it is. And it does put you in mind of what ended. And simultaneously putting you in mind of what can begin. It's almost like it's closure. Right? The past is done. We see that now. Without that ending, you wouldn't be in that position. Anyway, it's up to you. There's the proof of choice, not the absence of it. But, I don't know. I might check out that whisperer if I were you. Maybe. But that's me. That's me, though. Show me the sun, please. Nine of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. I know. You had to forcibly separate from what you understood used to make you happy. That's what I'm seeing over here. Once more, as I believe it relates to that commitment you left behind. Once upon a time you walked, understanding it was grossly dissatisfying, frustrating and grossly dissatisfying. This is not what you wanted. Once upon a time, that was your sun until it wasn't. Once upon a time, you found comfort and joy in that until you didn't. It got unbearably difficult at some point, and your emotional needs stopped being met. Thus, it stopped being your sun. I see that. Okay? But no doubt, once upon a time, that former commitment, that former soul bond, you might have called your happiness, yes. But you're showing me a lot of emotional and physical exhaustion around it. Okay? It's like I couldn't give this enough to be personally satisfied, and it started to drain you. I see that. Okay? Page of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. And then thereafter you said, I know where I'll find my sun. Right there. So you weren't looking, to be clear, you weren't looking for love. You felt something coming. And by the time it arrives, it's so gentle. It's a very gentle delivery. I believe it's being extended towards you, but again, it could be you putting your whisper out there to someone else. I just know that the qualifier is that it was felt intuitively, a strong connection. Okay. But like I said, you went through a sun conversion. This is what I've been seeing for several folks. Your previous sense of warmth made sense. Your current present-day sense of sun is right here, saying, I give the best to my world. That's where I put all my energy these days. That's where you can find me. This is what I do. My foundation, it doesn't break. It doesn't get anywhere near that. I put the best of myself into it daily. And Page of Swords, your mindset really hasn't shifted from that. It's right there. Okay? It's like I don't need too much more insight. This is a good bet. You're right, it is a good bet. But I like how you kind of go back and forth between the Fool and the Hermit. This is what I can expand into. This is what I can take a risk on. And this is where I'm good. And I know it. Your sun then, I hope that makes sense to you. As time passes and progresses, your sun might include this. But yeah, no, right there. It makes perfect sense. Let's take a look at your tower, please. Oh. Oh my. These are not feeling like in depth, Capricorn. I just, gosh, I've gotten better. What's going on? It's wild to me. Gosh, in-depths to me were nothing. 40, 50 minutes, nothing. I'm looking up and it hasn't even hit 30 minutes, and I'm like, wow. Oh, what's going on? All right. You have to understand, I practice old school tarot. You're done when the reading's done. It's not something you measure. You know? All right. There's that nasty little Ten of Swords. Queen of Wands. And the Five of Cups. I understand that. Is there any new information about that? No, it's same. It's the same gig. And with the Tower here, we did not understand, critically did not understand how unhappy we were until there was what you call an unavoidable moment that made it glaringly obvious. That's what the Tower does. It gives us that much needed and most likely overdue insight, and that's exactly what happened for you. It's been reflected at the opening of your sun, how you used to identify as happy, and then you had that moment where the Tower kind of tore everything down as a false construct. It's not the universe trying to be a dick, it's the universe trying to help us out. But at the time, it's not really appreciated. It's a hard truth, okay? But yeah, Queen of Wands, there's that Ten of Swords, the Five of Cups, again with the past. That was ripped down, torn down a long time ago. But for a while there, we were able to carry this sort of delusion that we were happy or that they were happy. It wasn't perhaps all that bad, or it wasn't that grievous, or it wasn't that difficult, but it was. And it was just more of the same. There was a big reveal that I'm unhappy. Big reveal. I'm unhappy and I can't see or feel anything else. And it's something that wasn't worked through. That's what's weird to me. It's a commitment, but it wasn't worked through. It was just revealed as a truth, and it's a dead end after that truth. Typically, with a commitment, we see someone who's willing to work through it, healing. Even if it's not going well, at least the effort's being made to head in that direction of healing, reflection, and insight. And no, it looks like wherever it is you're coming from, this is why you had to learn to leave it behind and be at peace with it and reflect on it for yourself, not for the situation, but for yourself, is because it had such a violent reveal, it seems. Just no takesy-backsies, no backtracking. I'm unhappy. I've been unhappy. This is nothing but a pain in my ass, or whatever this is. I'm out. So no opportunity to rectify the situation, to find balance with it, or anything like that. It was simply like, in your life, you kind of forced yourself to believe that it was happy, and you kept giving to it just to find out it wasn't happy at all. And once it was put out there, it couldn't be taken back for some reason. That's where you're coming from, and that's what you've been moving with. It's no wonder you're showing me I keep my head down and focus on the foundation, because there's going to be parts of that you had to go out of your way for perhaps years to resolve for yourself, and someone who just kind of quits without any warning, any healing, any notice, any willingness to try. It's just, I'm unhappy, there it is, all at once. Don't get me wrong, you were unhappy too. And even when you were at your most frustrated moments, though, you still showed up. But yeah, there's something to be said, and you lose a lot of trust for that person. Any situation, really, where it's like, I'm unhappy, this is over, there's no room to talk about it. You really lose a lot of it, because it's like, oh, you weren't really in it then. You never even brought it up. Never mind gave us the opportunity to fix it. So that tells me you're probably not worth my commitment energies anyway. Right? And you're right. It's not. It's not worth the commitment energies. When a big part of commitment is not just tolerating the other person, but working through that energy. That way you're not tolerating each other indefinitely. Nobody wants a relationship where they're just being tolerated at best and unhappy at most. Anyway, all that being said, honey, you showed me that for a reason. We clearly touched on your past today, but I want you to know you've made fantastic progress, beautiful progress. I love how you focused on your values. That was a key thing for you. You focused on what does work, clearly. You've done quite well for yourself. You're highly connected, well thought of in your community. Your reach is far. Let's put it that way. And you were minding your own business, and then right here, this is kind of why we watch tarot. Right here is this soupy sort of mystery. You have a beautiful sort of mystery unfolding for you by August. So you understand why this ends, so you can also understand where you might begin. Okay? Your foundation's set. I'm not worried about it, neither are you. You put some quality work into that. In terms of your love space personally for you and your own sense of equality or equalship, for some of you, yes, that is your next endeavor. Okay. success. Some of you are quite the success. And you don't always see that with the Ten of Pentacles. For some people, their lives are quite steady. But for some of you, yes, we're talking real world 3D success. Congratulations to you. You've worked very hard. Okay? And even if it's not a monetary thing, it's the respect that comes with it. You know, what you're connected to and why. That has a lot of weight. Has a lot of value in and of its own right. But it seems to me the Capricorn I'm looking at, you would know that. It's been a core value for you, for some of you, all your life. Within the next few weeks, yeah, that makes sense. Right here. I know it doesn't seem like that, but the flow through, allow for the flow through, okay? It's not strictly just July 1 to 31, August, you see what I'm saying? The weeks are going to bleed into each other in terms of the energetic flow. In other words, it's not a strict timeline. That's just us trying to shape things, okay? There you go. But yeah, within the next few weeks, I believe. Okay, we've got a couple here. Number 32. When peace is your priority, negativity cannot exist. Very good. How can you see through the eyes of source energy and prioritize your inner peace? And so you figured that out for yourself very clearly upon the opening. And like I said, in many ways for the Capricorn I'm looking at, you had to give yourself peace over this for your own sense of dignity, sanity, and frankly, getting on with your life. Okay. Number 2, you can radically change your results by shifting your beliefs. What belief is limiting you? I see where you often remain or try to remain open and flexible to the unknown, and you see if you can incorporate that into your world, which is cool. And we have, I'm just going to do the headlines on this. 12, your true tribe can't show up until you do. Number 23, prioritize self-love and care. And number 35, turn your worry into wonder, surrender to the experience. Okay. E, Y, we have the fox. Very clever, fast, cunning, quick. I'm sure you are. And then we have the blanket to stars. You have a lot of little dreams that ultimately tie together under a blanket of stars. It's not just any one particular vision. You actually have several. Okay? But they all make sense to you. And given your will, you would have them all tied together. Okay? Okay. Since we are running just a wee bit early, why not? The Empress, 4 of Swords, 3 of Cups. You have rested quite well, quite beautifully. There you are again. Some of you, the Empress here twice, and you're right. Very strong sense of self-worth, or you're highly productive, loving, generous, possibly even maternal. Okay, 4 Swords, 3 Cups. You've been resting yourself. Goodness knows you took your time with it. I love that when people show me non-rushed processes over very difficult situations. You had to go out of your way to make peace with this very disruptive chapter in your life, something that just blew up and it didn't stick around to kind of figure out the fallout. I'm glad it was revealed to you. Couldn't sustain. So you went out of your way for it to make sense to you, and you're in that space now where you can open up 3 cups. It feels okay, it feels soft, it feels easy, it feels gentle, and that's the way it should be. Okay, non-threatening. But yeah, you know, in some way you feel it. You're ready to connect. I just think you're rather surprised about where it's coming from, but not surprised. You felt it, though. I know you do. It's that sense of a strong connection. Ace of Cups, the Knights of Cups, and Temperance. Yeah, you did a beautiful job healing your heart space, your feelings. For any of you who had any residual fears of your emotional readiness, no, you've done a great job. Once more, emphasis on you took your time. You didn't just jump into the next available thing that would have you. No, you didn't want to do that. You know you're worth more than that, okay? You've achieved so much. You've done so much. You're worth more than the next cup you can jump into or the next bed you can jump into. You really took your time, okay? You took that commitment very seriously. But you weren't given much opportunity, if any opportunity, to try to correct the reveal. Which means whatever it is you were connected to didn't take commitment too seriously. And that means something, you don't have to stay together just because you're committed. No, it's like you have to understand that everything's for you first, including your commitment. It didn't give you anything to work with, so how worthy of it could have been? Okay, that's enough. Capricorn, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.